right?
Yep.
Hi, it's Paul Trigger at Trigger Brothers Frankston, and we've just had some new arrivals. The first one we're going to talk about is the Zephyr, which we ran last year, but they've changed the glassing up a little bit. So it's a very lightweight board. It's an epoxy, so styrene core, and the advantages of the styrene core are namely, the biggest one is the fact that it's obviously a lot lighter. So for a bigger person, say maybe 80, 90 Ks, 100 Ks, they can do a small board, a lot thicker, but then it's still very light. If you made the same board out of polyurethane, it would be very, very heavy. So I think epoxy boards, they don't suit everybody, but for bigger people, they're ideal. And then also for guys that want to ride really small waves, 1 to 2 foot, you can get a small board with high volume and very, very lightweight. So this is the Zephyr. This is a board that is also ideally suited to slightly bigger guys, because you can go, it's short, but you've got a lot of tail area there. So if you can imagine a size 12 foot, it's going to fit nicely on there. This amount of area for my body weight, around 70 kilos, is a little bit too full. So I probably wouldn't ride this model myself, but for the bigger guys who want to go short, they can do it. And this is just it's a 5'10", but the volume is up around 32 litres, which for a short board is pretty good. The width is out to 21 inches, so ideally suited to small waves. The next board we're going to have a look at, we've got a couple from Dick Van Stralen. He's one of the original shapers here in Australia. Probably one of the most famous Queensland shapers of all time. You've got Bob McTavish, who's down at Bala now, Midget Farrelly, and Dick Van Stralen, Gunther Ron, a South African who came to Australia. These people have shaped a lot of surfboards for a long period of time. So this little beauty here is called the Wasp, and it's this one here is about 6 foot long, but the volume is right up there. I think it's almost 38 litres. So short board, but high volume. No, it's 41.74, so it's almost 42 litres for a 6 foot board. It's 21 wide. It has a nice concave double barrel. But Dick's always put a lot of effort into his shaping. And it's also just got a little bit of V through the back there, which for a board of this buoyancy and width gives it that ability to rock a rail to rail. They've done a beautiful job with the colours. It's sort of tinted top and bottom, and then a bit of extra carbon fibre down the centre to give it some sort of strength. But as you can see, pretty wide. He's put a concave on the deck of this one, and his reason for that would be the fact that it's allowing you to take a little bit of volume out of the tail, so you can still thump that back of the board in. But that's an ideal board for a heavier guy. If you're a lighter weight guy, you'd probably ride this board down really short. But we've only just got a couple, but they are excellent. Super duper edge on the bottom, and that runs up a fair way because you've got that V in the back releasing that edge. I'll put that one back and we'll pull out the DVS Micro. So this is the Micro. This one's probably for sort of more of an intermediate surfer. It's once again a lot of width, a lot of volume, super light. Like for its length, that is a really light board, and beautifully finished with streaked tinted resin. And the measurements on this one are 6'6", 21, 2 3/4. And it's virtually 43 litres, so really high volume. He's still got a bit of a pintar, so you can sort of sink the tail. And once again, suited to a heavier guy, and the weight is just brilliant. This board, if it was in polyurethane, which we shape at our factory, it would run out at an extra probably 3 kilos heavier, which, you know, it'd just put you right off. So that's awesome.